This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. There's a set of goofy characters in right-wing media, these propagandists, like Dennis Prager, his PragerU. They always want to slap a university or a college on the back of something as though they really have something educational to offer. And then you bring in the most boring man with a microphone in front of his face, Dennis Prager, and he wants to be the person to extol the virtues of intellectualism upon a new generation while he's barely being kept alive by some spell or enchantment. It's all very weird. And I want to play this clip. Again, it's a competition to see who can be the most hateful or who can have the most disgusting view of our history in this country. And leave it to a conservative to completely get it wrong, especially about something as historic and disgusting in our history as slavery. Leave it to white guy McGee, Dennis Prager, to talk about slavery and give the absolute wrong information about it in some weird effort to try to whitewash the history of the United States and make things seem better than they were when it was horror that was visited upon million upon millions upon millions upon millions of African-American individuals in this country. Listen to Dennis Prager just puke bile and incorrect information onto the internet from the, as I like to say, the hole underneath his stupid nose.
It's a very distressing thing, what is being done here. The hatred of America and of capitalism is what animates the entire slave narrative in your kids' college. Yes, Corey, it's glossed over that the U.S. ended slavery for the rest of the world. Well, Britain started it, and then we continued it, and that is correct. Yep. By the way, if you talk about Islamic slavery, which was considerably more barbaric, and believe me, there was barbarity in our slavery, but most slaves could actually have children, for example. And on more than a few occasions, they were separated from their parents. Horrible. Truly horrible. But the black slave population increased tremendously because they could have families in so many cases. Under Islam, that was not possible. The men were castrated. And they weren't castrated with an anesthetic, shall we say.
Oh, sorry. I must have fallen asleep while the bigot was talking nonsense because of his slow and metered delivery about the things that he's absolutely wrong about. He had to sprinkle in a little anti-Muslim, anti-Islam bigotry in there. Well, look, yeah, it was pretty bad with slavery, but it was nothing like Islamic slavery. Our slavery was bad, but there's always the but. Our slavery was whatever word he used, whatever modifier he uses, comma, but they were allowed to have families. They were allowed to have families, Dennis Prager, or in many, many cases, they were forced to have families, to procreate. So they could breed new slaves that they didn't have to pay for on the slave block. Our history in this country is filled, it is replete with instances of rape and torture and murder. And he wants to paint it as some kind of a family outing to Disneyland. Well, they were allowed to. They could have families. All in service to rewriting the history of our country and trying to exempt us from the guilt. I don't mean us as in the population living today, but us as a country, people who claim the United States as theirs. To ignore the horrors that we have visited upon Black Americans and indigenous people and Asians. It is disgusting. It is stupid. It is sinister. And it is par for the course for Prager University's dean, their chancellor, Dennis Prager. What do you think? I'd love to know. Let's mix it up in the comments. You can also call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. The other @Dollemore is on social media. Hey, see what I did there? @Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me there. I'd love to see you. Connect with me there. And if you appreciate what I do and you want to take part in what I'm doing, you want to help produce what I'm doing here, you want to help manufacture these videos, just as a silent partner, you can click the join button below, become a channel member for $1.99 a month, or even better, you can go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways to help support what we're doing here. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. Be genuine. Take care of one another.